So in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact strategy we use to sell all of our listings on the MLS in 2 weeks or less every single time. My name is Chandler and I have novated and wholesaled over 110 properties in the last 18 months alone. And as of this date, I've helped 70 other wholesalers replicate this same exact process inside of their business. So for this video, I'm going to assume you already have the skill set to acquire off-market properties and with the right to list them on the MLS. And if you don't, that's okay. I have a video on my channel called MLS Strategy Full Breakdown. And if you go and watch that, it breaks down the exact entire process, A to Z, how you can acquire off-market properties and put them on the MLS. When creating a listing, there's two main components that really affect your ability to sell these properties within 2 weeks. One is price, and then two is the pictures. And so for each individual property, we want 12 people to walk through the property and then 7 to make a final offer. This number allows us to sell our properties for the most amount of money in the first 15 days of it being live. Since I realized this is our average numbers that we needed in order to maximize our sell price, I created a system that enabled us to do this on repeat. We're going to start with going over price. The general rule of thumb for price is if you do not have anyone calling you within the first 24 hours of your listing being live, then you can guarantee that your listing is overpriced. So this means from day one, when your listing goes live, you should be getting activity and calls for your property. And so here's how we determine the pricing to do just that. What we want to do is we want to look and determine a locational as is market value for this property. Once we do that, we're going to compare our property to the market value as is comps. We're basically going to back out any repairs that we have for our property in order to basically get it to this as is value, kind of similar to the ARV minus repairs model, but just market value for as is comps, and then minus out whatever repairs to get your property to that point. Now what we want to do is you have a target days on market, and that's 15. And for every day from listing to pending over 15 for your property is you need to back out $1,000 per day. So for example, your market value is $300,000 for your listing, and you want a 15 days on market. But for this $300,000 on market value, it's going to take 30 days in order for you to get the 300,000. So in that scenario, you'd have to remove $15,000 from your 300K listing market value to get 285. And then 285 is now your new market value for your property so that you can sell it in 15 days. This rule of thumb has worked pretty well for us for properties under $500,000. As you move up in price, this might become a bigger number or it might become a smaller number. It just depends. Just play around with it. In general, when you put it out to the market at whatever price, if you're not getting activity, just lower the price by $3,000 to $10,000 depending on the price point. If you feel you're way overpriced, drop it by $10,000. If you feel like you're slightly overpriced, just drop it by maybe a few $1,000s. When I'm pricing properties, I would rather price it low than too high, because if I price it low, what happens is the market will drive my price up to whatever it needs to be. Like just yesterday, we listed a property for $300,000 and we signed for $315. It happens all the time. But if you price it that same property for $300 instead of pricing it maybe $330, then what happens is that property just rots on the MLS and no one actually comes and looks at it. So you want to price it at a point where you're going to have a lot of people coming to view it and making offers, and then you can talk them up. It's much easier to work with 7 offers than it is to work with 1 offer. So this information can get a bit nuanced, but if you would like any guidance and you're a wholesaler who's doing 1 to 3 deals per month, looking to 2 or 3x your business, then that's who we help and who we work with. So feel free to click the link down below. If not, keep watching this video for free value. So next I'm going to go over the pictures you need for listings, as well as if you're going to do virtual acquisitions. So the pictures we want for virtual acquisitions, especially if you're using runners or yourself, you just need to give them a quick guide on what pictures to take. So what we want to see is we want to see all the major systems: HVAC, roof, hot water heater, furnace, deck, and porch, and all those things. We want to see 3 pictures, 3 different angles of the front house, the side of the house, the back of the house, the front yard, the driveway, as well as the back of the house too, right? The backyard. So we want to get a good lay of the land and understanding of what kind of property we're dealing with. So that could be a big value add for a lot of people. Then we would transition inside, and we want 3 pictures for the kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, living rooms, and any other rooms that might be in the house, including the garage. This gives us a really good idea of what the layout of the home looks like, and also a good chance of having quality pictures that we can pick from to actually put on the listing. And then of course, we want any pictures of any damaged areas, just so we can understand what kind of repairs or damages might be done to the property. So we also hire professional photographers to go and take pictures for us sometimes when the property is vacant and cleaned out, or if it's a nicer house, like above median home price value, we're going to want to get really high quality pictures and just do whatever package they have. Of course, like we have one house that's in the mountains. It's like a $900,000 house. So we got a really sick aerial view of the entire house. You just want to look at other listings and just really compare it to those and see how you can stand out. And for $250 with the professional photos, we've seen increases of $5,000 to $10,000 in sale price just from spending a couple $100 on a professional to take pictures. So now that we have pictures for the property, we need to determine the order at which these pictures are going to show up on the listing, and then just also be able to select pictures that are quality and that are going to add value to the listing. And so So we're going to start with the front pic, and it's just a centerpiece of all listings. After that, we really want to show off any really sweet features of the house. So that could be a pool, it could be a fire pit, it could be a really big backyard, it could be a nice garden area up front, or whatever it might be. But this could be nothing, and this could be something, right? So this is a big show. You want people early on in the looking process of the house to see these nice, cool things in the property. After that, we would do kitchen pictures. We might have one or two of these. We're going to do the living room pictures. We might have one or two of these, just different angles that might make it look bigger. And so next we're going to pick the master bedroom and bathroom. And that might be just 2 pictures of both, whatever looks good, right? You don't want to add too many pictures. You just want to keep it concise and looking like a value add to make the property look better, right? After the master, we're going to do just other bedrooms and other bathrooms. Then any shared spaces that might be involved. If you have a really nice den in a house, then you might put that up higher, and that might be your second picture, right? We're then going to add the garage pictures and any remaining exterior pictures that add value, right? Don't just add a random picture of a brick wall. It doesn't add any value. Regardless, these are the pictures on the listings that you want to add, and then just make sure each picture adds value to the listing and makes people want to come and see it. If it's then don't put it on there. So there's also times where we may not add any pictures of the property to the listing other than the outside picture itself. And this is when the property needs a ton of work inside, and compared to the rest of the comps, it's just way worse. So the basic strategy on these is to recognize the discount with the pricing, and then to only post the outside picture, which lets people know that, hey, this probably needs some work, but they're still really enticed to come and see the property because it's discounted. Because what if it isn't a bad property? What if it doesn't need a lot of work, right? So most recently, we had a property that's market value as is was about $280,000, but our property needed about $40,000 worth of work, give or take, in order to get it up to that standard. So what we did is we listed it at $250,000, and we only listed the front picture, which was a pretty nice picture actually. And what happened was we had 30 people come and view the property, and we were able to sell this property for $267,000. So in reality, we sold this for way more than what it's worth, to be quite honest, because it was in a good area, and because we listed it right, and because we had good negotiations whenever people came in and made offers. The key is always just to have a strategy when you go into listing it for how you're going to sell it for the most. Go make some money. Bye.